Welcome to Home with Justin. Welcome to this storybook cottage garden where color, texture, and calm come together. Imagine us stepping through the low picket gate into a sun-drenched yard framed by wildflower beds and a small wooden house that feels like a friend. Together we will explore this landscape, learn simple principles behind its charm, and follow a clear, practical guide to create a similar garden that fits your space and lifestyle. First, look at how the garden is composed. The beds curve naturally, flowing around the lawn and toward the cottage. That soft geometry invites movement and makes the space feel approachable. The plant palette mixes tall, mid-height, and ground cover layers so every eye level has interest. Bold yellow and orange blooms at the front catch attention, while softer purples and whites provide depth near the house. When planning, think in layers. Low-edging plants, mid-height perennials, and taller structural elements like shrubs or climbers near walls and fences. This layered arrangement creates a sense of balance and keeps the garden engaging through the seasons. Begin with a quick site assessment. Walk the space across the day and notice sun, shade, wind, and drainage patterns. The cottage garden here enjoys sunny borders and a dappled shade under mature trees. Use those conditions to choose plants, sun-loving coneflowers and rudbeckias for the bright borders, and hostas or ferns where light is softer. Sketch a simple map showing sunny versus shady areas and any damp spots. That map becomes your planting blueprint and reduces wasted effort and lost plants later. Soil is the foundation. Dig a few test holes to sense texture. Is it dense clay or fast-draining sand? Add compost annually to build fertility and structure. Compost evens out extremes, helping sandy soil hold moisture and breaking up clay. Aim for steady improvement rather than dramatic immediate fixes. A generous top dressing of compost or well-rotted manure each season keeps plants vigorous, cuts down on fertilizer needs, and supports beneficial soil life that fights disease naturally. Choose a plant palette that balances repetition with surprise. Pick 2 or 3 dominant colors to repeat across beds. Here, sunny yellows and warm oranges are repeated to create visual rhythm. Add accents in complementary shades, like purples and soft whites, to cool the composition and add contrast. For texture, mix spiky foliage with soft, airy bloomers. Incorporate a few evergreen shrubs or clipped forms to hold structure all year. Repetition ties the garden together. Variety inside that repetition keeps it lively. Lay out beds with gentle curves rather than straight lines. Curves feel natural and encourage exploration. Create a focal point. The cottage entrance, a bench beneath a tree, or a single specimen shrub, and design sightlines that lead the eye to it. Paths or stepping stones invite interaction. Keep pathways wide enough for comfortable walking, and edging them with lower plants creates a framed, intimate route through the planting. Planting technique meters. Group plants in odd numbers to look natural. 3 to 5 of a species in a cluster reads better than pairs. Plant with the mature size in mind, so you won't overcrowd beds later. Place taller plants toward the back or center islands, with lower plants at the edge. When planting, loosen roots gently, create a saucer for water, and firm soil without compacting it too hard. Water deeply after planting to settle roots and reduce transplant shock. Watering strategy keeps effort manageable and roots healthy. Young plants need regular moisture until established. After that, water deeply and less frequently to encourage deep root growth. Use organic mulch 3 to 4 inches deep to retain moisture, suppress weeds, and feed the soil as it breaks down. Mulch also softens the garden's edges visually, making beds look intentional rather than freshly planted. Encourage pollinators and biodiversity. Choose single-form flowers over double blooms when possible. Daisies and single roses provide more nectar and easier access for bees. Plant a succession of bloomers so there's food from spring through autumn. Bulbs and early perennials, summer staples like zinnia and rudbeckia, and late-season asters and sedums. Add herb clusters like lavender and thyme for scent and functionality. A shallow water source or saucer with stones helps insects and birds. Small shelters like beetle hotels or brush piles support beneficial predators. Maintenance routines should be simple and regular. Spend short weekly sessions weeding, deadheading spent flowers to prolong bloom on certain plants, and checking for pests early. Divide overcrowded perennials every few years to rejuvenate them and create new stock. Avoid overpruning. Light shaping and selective thinning keep natural forms intact. Leave some seed heads for winter interest and bird food. Cutting everything back too soon removes habitat and seasonal beauty. Composting is the garden's secret advantage. Keep a small bin for kitchen scraps, no meat or dairy, and garden clippings. Layer green and brown materials to speed decomposition, and use finished compost to top dress beds in spring or autumn. This closes the loop, reduces waste, and steadily improves soil structure without synthetic inputs. Small structures and details amplify charm and usability. A simple gate, a painted bench, handmade plant markers, or a recycled timber raised bed add personality and purpose. Raised edges define planting areas, Make access easier for planting and weeding, and help with drainage. Keep a tidy storage spot for a few essential tools: a trowel, pruning shears, a hand fork, so small tasks don't become excuses. Design for year-round interest. Start with bulbs and early flowering bulbs for spring, then the summer show of perennials and annuals, followed by late-season asters, sedums, and the architecture of grasses and seed heads into winter. Evergreen shrubs and clipped forms provide skeleton structure in the off-season. Consider texture and silhouette as much as color when choosing plants for four-season appeal. Plant with conservation and community in mind. Choose native and drought-tolerant species where possible to reduce water needs and support local wildlife. Share surplus plants with neighbors or swap seeds. This builds a local gardening community and spreads resilient varieties. A welcoming garden invites people to linger, swap stories, and learn together. Finish each session with reflection. Walk the garden to notice successes and small problem areas. Make a short to-do list for the next week. Amend soil in one bed, plant plugs of pollinator-friendly flowers, or set up a compost starter. Incremental steps compound into a full, rich landscape without overwhelming effort. Thank you for joining the walk through this cottage-style garden with Home with Studio. If this palette and approach inspire you, pick one actionable step this week. Sketch your site map, add compost to a bed, or plant a few pollinator-friendly seedlings. Small changes create big results over time. If this guide helped and more seasonal how-tos and planting plans would be useful, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so we can keep gardening together. See you in the next video, where practical tips meet hands-on planting and design ideas for every home.